everyone, I'm Rubianina, and thanks for joining me on my unemployed DIY journey. Our next DIY is this piece right here. This is the dresser that I have grown up with throughout my whole life. My parents got it originally for my nursery when I was a kid, and it's actually the first piece I've ever DIY'd. When I was in high school, I wanted to update my bedroom like most teenage girls do, away from that little girl aesthetic to something more like mature because you're becoming a woman. And so my first DIY I ever did with this piece was actually covering up the beautiful, it was actually quite beautiful, a beautiful stencil design my mom had painted on the front of this piece when they first got it. But I covered it up with a wrapping paper that I found that I really liked the design and the texture. So I decoupaged it onto the drawer fronts, and that was pretty much like my first DIY ever. Fast forward, it's like 2020, 2021, and I'm moving home for the first time in my adulthood. I had been living in the big city, had my first job, and the pandemic hit and I moved home like many of us did, and moving home meant it was time to do another bedroom refresh. So for some reason, I don't know how I knew, but I knew this was real wood underneath. It is a wood veneer, but it is real wood. And so I learned how to strip the paint, and that is how it got to this current stage. So the reason why I deem it as one of my unfinished DIYs is because I was planning on staining it and I didn't, and I'll tell you why in a second. And the second part is because it's not stained, I never sealed the piece of furniture, which has resulted in a lot of damage. If you don't know, usually when you're working on wood, you put like a protective polyurethane coat or something to that effect, and that protects the wood from water damage, which I have unfortunately caused on this piece. The reason why I didn't finish it is because there is a companion unit to this dresser, which is a little nightstand. And when we were doing this process, my mom helped me of stripping the paint. We stripped the paint of the companion unit, and I attempted to stain it. The staining didn't turn out the way I wanted. It wasn't the right color. It also was since it's wood veneer, you cannot sand like very intensely. Even though I used wood conditioner, it still turned out a little blotchy. So the companion piece, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna use wood bleach. We're gonna hopefully lighten the tone of the nightstand a bit. And then the wood bleach is actually a great way to get rid of water damage as well. So we're gonna use that as a kind of 2-in-1, if you will. We'll lighten the tone of the nightstand and we'll get rid of the water stains on this piece. And then hopefully we'll be able to find a stain that looks good and restain them both, seal them, and that will be done. We'll be finished with this DIY. I'm excited to take you guys. It's been a long time coming, probably like 5 years in the process, in the making. First things first is I have to go to the hardware store to get the wood bleach, and then we'll be able to get started, all right? I had to go to H Mart to pick up some stuff to make dinner tonight, and I always love getting the little pastries. This is a Saboro crusted cream bread. It just looks really cute. I feel like I've seen these with like pastry cream or like whipped cream in them before. This one doesn't have any, I don't think. It might, but I'm gonna take a bite, let you know. Alrighty, let's do this. This is what I wanted. I wanted a little sweet something. On my morning excursions, I had to go to the hardware store. I hate going by myself. There's always creeps creeping around the hardware store, although I went so early there was like no one there. Just the staff, and they were nice. I also wore like an outfit to be like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm in overalls, like I know more than you vibes, like Ron Swanson, but
I don't know more than people, but I know more than people think I do. But yeah, the only places I've ever been accosted, and when I mean accosted, like someone coming up and telling you you're pretty or something like awkward like that, has only ever been at like a hardware store. Not true. It's happened in other places, but hardware stores consistently is where I encounter men being creepy. So usually I require my boyfriend to come with me as my barrier, but he's not here, so I had to go by myself, and it was fine. I was okay. But I deserve a sweet treat for having to deal with men and think about them and have them take up space in my fucking brain. So yeah. Something else that was so cute is they were playing the Demon Hunters soundtrack at H Mart. Like literally it sounded like they just like put Demon Hunters on, and it was just like every song was from Demon Hunters, and it was really cute, and I was like walking around singing along because it's great. Freaking love Golden. It's such a good song. So that was really cute. I wanted to share.
Okay, I'm back home. This is the nightstand I was talking about. I got myself some new heavy-duty gloves because this is a bleach. It's very irritating on the skin. This is the solution we're using. I also got myself a multi-purpose container for mixing, having the bleach solution, and some sponges for applying. It is like, this is a very dangerous product. Like, be warned, wear PPE. I'm gonna be wearing a face mask. I have glasses on, wear goggles, and I also am wearing clothing that, like, if I get bleach on it, I won't be sad or upset. So yeah, I'm gonna go mix the solution, and then we're gonna test this out. This is the solution. It's been mixed, and we're gonna apply. I'm using a sponge, so all right, here goes nothing. I'm somewhat back in my cute outfit. That was intense. I guess like I just always get afraid of harsh chemical things. I'm one to get overly anxious about stuff. This is user friendly, but just like be careful, people. Like please, like obviously it's my first time using it. I don't know the consistency, what it's like. And there was a lot of splatter situations that were making me anxious. I wish I had switched out my glasses for actual protective goggles. There was like one point where it splashed and like a droplet got so close to my eye. So just like, please be careful when you're doing this. So far, I think at the very least, it is doing its job of getting rid of water stains. There was like one little section of water stains on this piece. So at the very least, it's doing that, which is great, which means for the bigger piece, it will do the same. And then from the staining perspective, we'll just have to like do our best. We'll do our best to match the stains from the two different pieces. I don't even remember what stain I used on this. It was years ago. So we'll just do our best, and they won't be twinning, but they already aren't twinning because they're not the same. Like one's a mini and one's a big. So what if they're different, like, tones? I think it'll be fine. So we'll figure it out. But please just be so careful. Please be careful, please. It's day 2 of doing this. I'm all geared up. So this is the dresser. We're gonna get some work done on the dresser before I go to the gym today. I have the nightstand over to the side. The plan is to bleach this piece, the dresser. Once that's been bleached. You have to wash off the solution. They say just use water. Maybe we'll try sanding a little. Let's get going. My goggles are already fogging up. All right, so it has been over 24 hours now since I've applied the oxalic acid to this piece and the nightstand. And the next step is to actually like wipe it clean with water, which sounds like kind of crazy, but it does leave like a residue behind. So we have to wash it off essentially. And then finally, we're gonna stain. You have no concept of what this time has taken me. I started this Tuesday, Monday, it's Friday, and I did get my COVID shot and flu shot halfway through the week, and that kind of knocked me out a little. I was a little sick, so I didn't get it done as quickly as maybe I had planned. Anywho, let's wipe this off. See how it's a bit like orange right here? Interesting, because it's already turned the color of the water like yellow, and it's giving it like an ammonia smell. You know, like rotten eggs smell. So there's definitely some oxalic acid coming up. To the drawers! So you know what water, color of water should be. This is what it looks like now after one rinse. So I'm gonna dispose of this, get fresh water, and maybe do one more rinse. Hopefully it'll be cleaner. Now we're gonna do this little guy. Oops. Now, I don't think I did as many layers of the acid on this piece as I did the other one, but it is definitely chalky. That's what I would describe the layer of, like, because it's a powder. The oxalic acid is a powder that you mix in, so it's definitely coming up chalky. Alrighty, so I don't want to sand. I'm tired of sanding, so we're not going to be doing sanding. I sanded this forever ago. It's nice and soft. Sanding is so much work. I have to like set up my entire outside area, and sawdust gets everywhere, and I just don't want to do it. So hopefully it'll be okay. So we're just gonna move on to staining. My plan is I have wood conditioner, so we'll put a coat of wood conditioner on. Wood conditioner is supposed to help keep your stain even, although because it's just not gonna look even. Just warning, it's not gonna look even. I'm still gonna do it just as to do the best I can, but these are the stains I have. So first, I'm gonna open them up, we're gonna stir them, and we're gonna swatch them on here. These are all Varathane. I think that's the brand name. This is Gunstock. I used this on a couple other pieces, and I'm gonna use this on my shelf. This one is Sedona Red, and this one is Colonial Maple. Oh, my gloves. Okay. Colonial Maple. Okay. Okay, I think I went a little nonverbal while trying to figure this out. At first, the stains were, I hadn't mixed them well enough. They were a little washed out, so I had to remix them. This is like all three of the stains. They are more rich in color. This is what I remembered them looking like. And then what I started doing instead of mixing them together was I would apply different layers of different stains. This one, I started with the Sedona, and then I did the maple on top. And this one, I put the maple. This is just maple, nothing over top. And then on this side, I put the gun stock on this side. I think I really like the maple with the gun stock. So one thing to note is that these pieces already have some color to them. So this is a blonde pale wood. This is not gonna look the same on these pieces, especially this piece and the dresser aren't gonna look the exact same because this already has a stain on it. I don't remember what stain, but it already has a stain on it. So that's just another thing to consider. It's gonna be blotchy. That's the problem with veneer, is I can't sand away the imperfections. Veneer is essentially, if you don't know, it's like a layer of wood on top of a different layer of wood that's been glued on. It's like, think of it as like peel and stick wallpaper, but it's wood. I am concerned that if I sand anymore, I will sand through the veneer, which is not what you want. So it's gonna have these imperfections. You can see on this side already some of them. And I think that again is why I didn't stain the dresser, because when I stained this one, it was filled with all those imperfections. It really upset me at the time because I was like, I want it to look perfect. But right now we're embracing the imperfections. We're just trying to get something to look nice. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Let me get this set up. I'll move these little sticks aside. All right, let's get cooking. So the wood conditioner has cured for 30 minutes and now it's time to go in with stain. So let's get started on that. Here we go. Remember, this will stay. It's not gonna change color, or it's gonna be blotchy. So the staining's done. Now it's time to do the poly finish. This is the protective layer. It's a clear coat. I'm choosing a matte finish. So it won't look very shiny. It'll probably just look like this, how it looks now. But it just adds a protective layer, again, in case you put a water glass on top, whatever. It'll keep the wood safe. So we're gonna do that. I'll show you the process. It is a bit cumbersome. You usually want to apply a few coats and you have to wait 2 hours between each coat. So that takes some time. Usually what I do, I coat it, set a timer for 2 hours, then come back and do another coat. So we're gonna try and get all the doors done on the dresser today, start doing some of the sides of the nightstand and dresser. I have it horizontal, the nightstand, and I'm gonna move the dresser horizontal once my partner gets home because it's self-leveling, and so I think it needs to be horizontal to do that. So we'll do some rotating of the furniture. But yeah, it's gonna take a couple days to do all of that, and then it takes 24 hours to cure, but hopefully by the end of the week, it'll be all done. So let's get to it. So my confessional. I have to sand this all off. What the is happening? It's not supposed to work like that. The consistency's off. This this is not supposed to be happening. And I think I was looking at I don't think it expired, but the label says keep from freezing. And I definitely had this winter outside this past winter and it definitely froze. So I feel like maybe that's why the consistency's off. It's like, it's supposed to be smooth and it's getting these little, it's like pilling. What's all this? This is not good. Not good. So I'm gonna go buy new stain or new seal, and next time I'll just make sure to read the label. So I'm gonna scrape the other side off. Yeah. The frick is happening? So I went to the store. I got the polyurethane. I also got a sand block. Sanded this down. It's looking pretty good. I just was sanding off any residual of that poly finish layer. So let's open this can up and hopefully we will see the difference in consistency from our terribly gone bad version. So, all right, let's do that. I have some updates. Basically, the polyurethane, it's been a while since I've used it and you have to work really fast. It starts drying really quickly. And so I think that's why I was getting that like pilling almost. And so I also switched from paintbrush to a foam brush. I don't know really how big of a difference that's making, but it's been a bit challenging. There's like a spot right here that was like the brush pilling up. It's really hard on this piece because it's so long. The brush stroke, like you lose product halfway through. And so then you get like this dry patch in the middle. And you're supposed to do like smooth strokes. So it's been a little hard. Maybe, I was gonna say, maybe I should do it this way, but you kind of want it to go with the grain of the wood. We're gonna keep going. I have already done this side last night, and we're just gonna keep going through adding the finish. I'll show you a little bit more, and then we'll go into final stages, basically just putting it back and making it look cute. All right, so always a learning process. It's never simple, never easy, and it's good to be reminded or like refresh yourself on what the process is. So should have done that. So I've done 2 coats. I'm gonna do 1 more coat, and y'all, you can't even see the water stains anymore. Now that I've stained it and sealing it, you can't even see where I did the water damage. Those ring marks are pretty much gone. It's beautiful. I think that the wood conditioner is somewhat responsible for this. And I think that's because wood conditioner is like oil-based. I don't know. When I was looking up ways to get rid of water marks, one of the solutions was a mixture of like vinegar and olive oil. And I think there's something to that of like
yes, you need the acid of the vinegar, which is like the wood bleach, very acidic, but then the wood conditioner is like oil and rich and nourishing. And so, yeah, it's looking really pretty. I tell you, I don't remember the polyurethane being so testy, but really you gotta like be so quick with it. And damn, why is it so finicky? It's so finicky, but we are too far to not continue, so let's finish this. Fast and quick. Like a witch's spell. That's what I'm trying to, the vibe I'm trying to get. Like I'm in hocus pocus. Speed, speed. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Potions, potions. Do-do-do-do-do. We did it! She's done! I'm so proud of myself. This really did take me 5 years to do. Part of that was just decision fatigue. A lot of it also was just not knowing what to do. But honestly, I think I worried for nothing. It really turned out really well. This honestly is not blotchy at all compared to the other piece. I don't know why the other piece is so much more blotchy than this one, but this one truly turned out really well. I was able to get rid of all of the water damage. You can't even see the watermarks that were dripping down the front here and a few that were on the surface. But I am just so pleased. She turned out so well. I feel like I should give myself a little bit of a pat on the back here. And I just want to say thank you for joining me. I've really appreciated sharing these DIYs with you. They've really helped me stay on track with finishing them. As you can see, I have a habit of leaving things unfinished for a long time. Now, that's not to say that all my DIYs are like that. I do tend to finish other ones, but sometimes you just reach points, and I think it's kind of become clear that a lot of my unfinished DIYs are because I've reached a point, I've reached an impasse of not knowing what to do, not knowing how to tackle a certain problem or a certain challenge. And here's to finally taking the courageous steps, the brave steps into figuring things out, because it doesn't always go the way you expect it to. I know for this, definitely had a few road bumps along the way, but I'm really happy. So thanks for joining. Feel free to drop a like or a comment if you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you next week.